15, and I'm your host, Ant-Man. Yo, I got an article in front of me from ClashDaily.com written by Dave Daubenmire on March 27th, probably late last night. Or I don't remember. I think I might have put this up yesterday. Might have, what do you call it? Bookmarked it. But anyways, it's called Church Playing Offense Against the God Haters, the first 1 to 30 wins. I don't know what exactly this article's about. I just thought it was kind of an interesting topic because I have no idea what he's getting to. A lot of comments, though, so it should be a good article. Let's see. He's got a picture here of the Green Bay Packers for some reason. Let's see what this guy's onto here, shall we? I love my career as a football coach. Is it okay to say that? Does it make me seem worldly to say that? Forgive me, Lord, but I love it. I love the smell of the battle. I love the mud. I love the blood. I love the human drama of competition. I love how competition strengthened a man. Fight or flight was the choice that the frightened young men were forced to face. Men. Will they face their fear and storm the castle, or will they roll up in a cocoon and yield ground to the enemy? Courage is created in the heart of the battle. Facing one's fear is a necessity for victory in life. Did you guys hear that? I think that a man that does not take up his responsibility, who avoids the obstacles in life, he's missing out on the opportunity to grow and to let God even make him grow, if he's a Christian. Because whether you're a Christian or not, your obstacles in life, your responsibilities, when you face them and you deal with them, make you stronger. They make you better. They give you knowledge. You know what I mean? Kill the will, boys. I often told them after the halftime break, they are going to be fired up after the pep talk that their coach just gave them. And we are going to have to go out there and kill the will. We are going to keep the pressure on until they wilt. Victory is earned. You have to take it, before you can do that, you have to take away their heart. As an MMA fighter, I love the fact of the matter that this is so true for MMA too. Because in MMA, sometimes, man, you can feel when somebody's starting to wilt, and you can feel that they're giving up. And it's because, they're getting either fatigued or they're getting demoralized by you somehow. But anyways, it's amazing to really see that in real life, though. I have friends that have that type of fighting style, that they like to just hold people down and apply pain to them, and that's just like their game plan. Me, I don't know if you like MMA, but if you like MMA and you watch it, maybe I can give you an illustration, a mental image of how I fight. Sometimes when I come out orthodox, I like to stay on the outside and I like to counter, but I am aggressive when I find an opening. But I like to create openings, so I stay moving. I like to move around a lot. But some people are just nasty, and they like to make fights ugly, and they like to drag them out. You know what I mean? I like to look for just one punch to end it quick, or end up on the ground and finish one with a submission or something. Now, I like to finish fights. I'm quick. But man, there are certain people out there, man, it would make you laugh, because there are certain people out there that just love the game for inflicting pain. There are soldiers like that, that they like to go and register to become in the service because they want an excuse just to kill somebody, man. That's a dark truth right there. Excuse me if that frightened you. But that's the truth. There are fighters like that too, man. There's some pretty evil guys out there in the martial arts world, and they, you know what I mean? They take out all of their anger out on the person that they face in the cage. I just like the sport. I like competition because I love the sport of mixed martial arts, and I don't know why I'm even telling you that. I guess it's because of this. It got me all caught up. Anyways, just a little fact about myself. I can feel it right now. Some of you reading this will find your heart beating a little faster. I feel you, my friend. I feel you. Whatever happened to the fighting spirit inside the Christian man? It has to do a lot with the feminization, I have to say. It has to go through a lot of what we eat. What you eat matters. This has to play a lot into it. And what you're involved in the culture, man. If you're hypersexualized, if you're letting yourself be hypersexualized, know and be warned that the culture today is very liberal, and that is just because the society and the government tells you that this stuff's okay and it's normal, doesn't mean it's okay and it's normal. God has called us to a much higher standard, to live like Him. and his ways are so much higher. I like what the Psalms say, you know, like I love the fact that, like, when you know his precepts, you know how to guard your life. God doesn't tell you not to do something because he's a cosmic killjoy. He tells you it because he cares about you and other people and wants to keep you away from getting hurt. The deceitfulness of sin is what hardens the heart, and the self-righteousness of the sinfulness of man is what steers them to become violent or hypersexualized. But when you see this in the culture, when you're hypersexualized, when you're letting yourself watch porn and all of this, you're losing something of your manhood, because there's a dignity there, man, and there's, like, yeah, it has to do with, if you're a worldly Christian, then you're probably, I could tell you right now, not that bold. You're not too bold in your faith. You probably never talk about it. You probably are like I like to say, mamby-pamby, like how Dinesh D'Souza says it, because it's true. We're not looking for a fight. In fact, it looks like we're scared of fights. And I'm not talking about a fist fight. I'm talking about an intellectual fight. I'm talking about what we believe in. You know what I mean? They killed the will. Somewhere along the way, the enemy killed the will. Passive, sit on your butt, whiny Christianity has turned the average American male into a compliant pile of Play-Doh. The constant attack of the God-haters has pushed men inside the four walls of the church, where they cower in fear over what some flaming homosexual might say about them. That's why, if you are a Christian and you have kids, teach them apologetics. Don't shelter them in your home so that they never know how to deal with society. Teach them how to share their faith and live up to 1 Peter 3:15. You know what I mean? That we are all commanded to live up to. We're not supposed to let anyone despise us. You should never let a single person in your life have a reason to despise you. You should walk blameless, and you should have it known by your deeds, and even if you have to by your words, that you have no reason to be, you know what I mean? I mean, you make facts, you let people know that the reason that they lie is because they're corrupt and they're sinners. And you know what I mean? That's what crucified the Lord, dude, is that self-righteousness within us all, that we're all justifying our own nonsense, and it's not good. The constant attack, so there you go. You can't be afraid of, you know what I mean, of being attacked because of political correctness, because you offend what people think is normal today. You know what I mean? 100, 200, 300 years ago, that was not normal. You know what I mean? But by today's standards, of course it is. You got to accept it. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, be up in arms about it. Don't be all militant about it. It's just what it is. I don't accept it. But if somebody wants to be that way, then I'm going to love him with the Christian love. You know, I'm going to get to know the guy and whatnot. I'm not a homophobe. You know what? Why should I be afraid of gay people? But anyway, there is no exhortation from their pastor to stand up and fight. There is no leader in the huddle motivating them to pound the ball over the goal line. There is no plan for victory over an exceedingly inferior opponent. It's like men are such slaves that they take advantage of the more vulnerable, weaker, more innocent, more influential slaves, because it's like a Stockholm syndrome, man. It's like, instead of being a man, you pose it by oppressing your fellow man. It's like the divide and conquer. This whole political system that has influenced our culture has done that to us. They've made us fight against each other over every little stupid thing, that we never look at who's actually our enemy, and that's really a big deal. So you know what I mean? Christianity makes me want to puke. Yeah, all that sentimentalism, man, is seriously not good. It's not. Those of you who really who enjoy football know that there is an old saying that offensive wins games, but defense wins championships. That may be true to a point, but the truth remains that a team that only plays a defense will never win a game. Sorry, I don't know why I'm even bragging about that right now. The best they can hope for is a 0-0 tie. At some point, in order to win the game, someone is going to have to pick up the football and ram it across the goal line. Playing a game to a tie is like kissing your sister. You know, there's no satisfaction in that. It looks good, but there ain't much of a thrill to it. Sadly, most Christians today are playing for a tie, hoping to just hang on until Daddy comes to rescue them. I would get really mad if they were talking to me on that one. If that's you, I would get mad about someone talking to you like that. They're calling you kind of like soft, man, and that's not good. You should, if you're a man, you shouldn't want to be known as soft. But at the same time, you know, you're not, like, you know, hard to the point where you're ruthless. You know, no wonder men have quit going to church. Who wants to play on a team that has no intention of winning? Who wants to engage in a fight where you aren't able to punch back? I know, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, I get it. Maybe someone should explain that to the God haters who are mopping the field with us and rubbing our values and our faces into the mud. I was a little different than the average coach. I focused on the offensive side of the ball. I loved making big plays on scoring touchdowns on the opponent. The way I saw it, playing defense was something you had to do when the other team had the ball. The fans loved to watch the points go on the board, and I sure loved putting them up there. Offense wins games. That was my approach. Defense merely prevented losses. I'd much rather play trying to win than hang on my rear end trying not to lose. For the most part, modern Christians have no intention of trying to win. They don't even know what a touchdown looks like. They think winning is watching one of their friends suffer for Christ rather than being a champion for Christ. After David slew Goliath, he ran up and sliced his head off. He sliced off his head. David wasn't interested in a tie. David wasn't interested in playing defense. David was interested in killing the will. When David sliced the dude out, all of Goliath's homeboys headed for the hills. I recall spending many nights preparing for the upcoming opponent without coaching staff. And I just want to say one thing about that David story is that he said, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" That's a very interesting thing that he said. You know what I mean? You know, he says, "You come to me with a shield and a spear and a sword, but I come to you in the name of God." That right there, my friend, is the key right there. That's who your strength is. Do you understand that? It's really something that you need to start to comprehend. If you don't understand that, try to comprehend that. You never will, but it's a mystery. But the more you are conscious of it being there, the more you have faith of it, it's amazing what it can do for you. So, anyway, I'm going to reread that little sentence. I recall spending many nights preparing for the upcoming opponent with our coaching staff. We'd break down the films, find their tendencies, and prepare a plan of attack. I would look at the game plan and turn to our coaches and say, first one to 30 wins, boys. If they plan on beating us, they'd better be ready to score some points. What's my point? It is that the church has sat around for far too long now playing defense and hoping to somehow stop the opponents from scoring on our team. We compromise, roll over, yield our authority, dance to their tune, and play by their rules. And the idea of forcing them to play by our teams never enters our minds. We have a defensive mindset. If only we can hold on, maybe we can end in a tie. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of sissified, passive Christianity. I'm sick of the girly mommies, boys, currently populating our pulpits with a just be nice strategy. We will never win if our only goal is to not appear mean as they rape our cheerleaders and molest our water boys. That's a little going far, but all right. We need a change in strategy. Playing not to lose ain't working. I remember the great football coach Woody Hayes once commented, "I never saw a football player make a tackle with a smile on his face." Let's go on the offensive. Let's throw a few deep passes. Let's pound the God haters by running off tackle. Let's use some razzle-dazzle and see if they can handle it. Let's pull out all the stops. Let's run the no-huddle offense and wear them down. Let's act like we are champions led by the greatest coach in the world. Let's follow David's example. Let's follow Gideon's example. Let's follow Jesus' example. Kill the will, boys. Get off your butts and go on the attack. Anybody with me? The first 1 to 30 wins. I don't know about you guys, but lately I've been seeing a lot of great things in my evangelism, personally in my life, and God has been doing great things in and through me, man. I praise God every day. And I'm not saying that to make myself seem good. I praise God. It's all about Him, man. It's not about me. But, it's amazing, though. And I think that, this is the spirit that we're about. The spirit of liberty is a spirit of rebelliousness toward tyranny. That is what obedience to God is open rebellion to tyranny. What do we see today, guys? We see tyranny. So why don't we get off our butts and become real men of God? We are supposed to turn the world upside down. And if you're making people uncomfortable, good. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to listen to these preachers that are telling you you're going to be winsome and nice. No. Christianity was never popular and it never will be until Jesus comes back, baby. God bless you.